Has Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau already put The Mandalorian and the shows surrounding it in their own universe, separate from the sequel trilogy? I think they have. Now, while I'm explaining this, try not to think of it as anything being retconned, but more the Mandalorian shows are just being put into their own box, separated from the sequels. Before I start trying to explain myself, I'm starting to put out Star Wars content and we'll be going through and reviewing new comics, shows, and games. With the announcement of Lucasfilm Games and the High Republic, there will be a lot to talk about in the near future. If you want to help out the channel, share this video, leave a comment, like, and subscribe. I heard this theory from LoreStar, so if you're not already, go subscribe to them and check out the channel. They have tons of awesome videos. So let's start at what causes the split in the timeline. We saw in the final season of Rebels, during the fight between Ahsoka and Vader, Ezra is the one who saves her. It's at this moment the split happens, with Ezra reaching through the portal, grabbing Ahsoka and pulling her into the world between worlds, creating an alternate universe. One universe where she has been defeated by Vader, leading us to the events of the sequel trilogy, and another where she has been saved by Ezra, leading us to the events of The Mandalorian. After Ezra pulls her through, they then find the doorway to Kanan's last moments, and Ahsoka begins to tell him he can't just start pulling people out of the past. She says he can't save his master, just like she couldn't save hers. This lets us know Ahsoka has completely given up on Anakin and is even possibly concerned about what her own impact could have on the galaxy. This could explain her whereabouts for the original trilogy. Scared of what problems may occur from her getting involved, she just hides away. This would make both timelines pretty much identical, up until the point where Vader is defeated and the ghost of Anakin can begin to guide her. A rumor dropped by Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, another channel you should already be subscribed to, was according to his insider, there was a scene cut out from Chapter 13, The Jedi. This scene shows the Force ghost of Anakin instructing Ahsoka, telling her that the Mandalorian must take Grogu to Tython. This is where the events in the universe really begin to change, as Bo-Katan wouldn't have been able to send the Mandalorian to Ahsoka, and he wouldn't have ended up on Tython. Boba Fett would have still been right behind him, and their meeting may not have gone as well. If it did, Moff Gideon still would have arrived shortly after and sent in the Dark Trooper. If they don't go to Tython to contact Luke, then we don't get that hallway scene. And with the Mandalorian clearly outmatched, he wouldn't have been able to save Grogu, leading us into the events of the sequel trilogy. This also explains why Grogu was never mentioned in the sequels. From 9 ABY to 25 ABY, they were using his blood to bring back Palpatine, and it is very unlikely he would have survived that. This theory also tells us why Ahsoka was one of the dead Jedi talking to Rey at the end of The Rise of Skywalker. I know this could just be chalked up to her not surviving to make it to then, but I believe this is what the Ahsoka show is going to be about and where we will be given all of this information. Just looking at the logo gives me a pretty big indicator that they will be giving us more information and hopefully explaining what the world between worlds actually is. Another thing that lends credibility to this theory is Ben was supposed to become Luke's first apprentice in 15 ABY. Grogu was taken in The Mandalorian in 9 ABY, 6 years before Luke had an apprentice. Now, like Filoni or not, he has a huge knowledge of Star Wars, and I think he would have known that Ben was supposed to become Luke's first apprentice 6 years after that episode. Unless he just didn't care because he already knew The Mandalorian isn't going to end up as the sequel trilogy. Let me know what you think of the video. Do you agree or disagree? Do you think The Mandalorian is already in its own universe? Or do you think this is all just explained by Lucasfilm not caring about lore and continuity? Either way, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Thanks for watching.